هتسوق ولا انا اللي هسوق؟ يا شوفوا الشجر، شوفوا السقف، شوفوا العجلة. انا مش عاجبني ان انا مش عارف ارمي البتاع النار اللي انا بعملها بس الحاجات دي.
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was...
What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
I thought you were a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back. But I will tell you, she values her privacy. Well, London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal. If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swanson.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole. Yes. First and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself. Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn. Then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes.
بيقولوا هنديك ان انت بتشتغل فتره ليليه فمحدش يقدر يكلمك ولا يشك في كلمه مصاص دماء، فايه رايك؟
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book. The beginning of a beautiful friendship.
طب ومش هتديني مرتب ولا ايه؟ ما اتفقناش على السالري يا حاج. سالري يا ولاد يعني مرتب. شفتوا؟ خلصنا الجزء الاول. اللعبة دي عاملة زي بروتو بالظبط، هي لعبة بروتو بالظبط بس على جديد. القطارات والبتاع والرايح جاي مش عارفة جري. يخرب بيت دي فلوكة.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
دكتورة ازيك؟ انا كنت قلقان عليك، تعالى بسرعة. ولا في ايه؟ انا معايا اخبار حلوة، جايب لك عيانين.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scout said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
وواحد استطاع. لا مش مشكلة، أنا جايب واحد جديد أهو. خدي ده اتعاملي معاه. على الجيب. ارمي في الثلاجة.
Sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
شجعيه.
Oh, and Dorothy.
Yes, Doctor.
أيوة دكتور.
Dr. Reed here.
لا الدكتور ده هيشتغل معاك.
He served King Country. will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent. One so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
تعالى يا دكتور، تعالى يا دكتورة، الحقنا يا دكتورة. الراجل بطيخة خالص. الجاكيت بتاعي
Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink.
الجاكيت ده يشجعك
If you have any questions, just ask her.
لو كان اسود كمان.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea,
يلا
immediately.
تعالوا بسرعة دكتورة.
We'll catch up after my rounds.
Coming, Nurse Crane.
I'm coming.
أنا هاجي مع السلامة، مع السلامة، مع السلامة. مش يلا، خلينا نستكشف المكان. أيوه. مفيش بي. ادي اللي بيشتغل. ايه بقى المهم؟ انتر ذا بريمنت هوسبيتال. لا يا عم مش عايز انتر الهوسبيتال، عايز استكشف. بتشتمني انا يا ابني؟ انا هنفخك وانفخ اللي جابوك دلوقتي. ماشي براحه لسه. لا يا حيوان، يا حيوان بتقتل صاحبك.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life.
كل واحد عامل
Drink
كده.
at this river, dry it all.
اشرب الدم واقتل من الدم واعمل الدم. انت بتطلع في الروح ولا؟
Oh, come on, you bastard!
انا بس
I won't bite.
انا مش هعوضك.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood.
نزلت دم
Calm
كتير.
yourself.
هدي نفسك.
You think I didn't notice?
فاكرني مش واخد بالي؟
Stop your staring and get me to an hospital.
بطل
you
تحدق فيا
arse.
كده ووديني المستشفى يا حيوان. اقول له هسيبك تموت ولا هقتلك ولا خليني مؤدب.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
ولا انت خليك مؤدب عشان
All
الحق.
right, sorry.
انا اسف، انا اسف، انا تعبان.
My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're jabbering on.
معدتي
Yes.
بتقع قدامي وانت عايزني
That's a
ابقى
very
مؤدب.
nasty wound you've got there.
يلا
Take my word, I was.
انا
I am a
دكتور.
doctor,
اسمع
Dr.
كلامي.
Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox.
انا
I'd
كليكوس.
appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better
خليني
place.
اساعدك. تعالى معايا. ذا بلاد كواليتي. شوف جودة الدم بتاعه. جودة الدم بتاعه 500. بيدي 500 بس اكس دي. ماشي. ذا بلاد كواليتي انكريز هو ماتش. ماشي. كلما كانت الجودة أعلى كلما كانت الدم عينة الدم أفضل. لا عشان تشرب الدم تعالى خدهم بعيد عن الناس. لازم قدرة التلاعب بالعقل بتاعتك تكون أقوى من أو تساوي من مقاومة المريض اللي قدامك. دوس كيو عشان تقيسها. نيمته مغطاطيزي. مش قدامي يا كلب. اعذرني يا شادو. بيقول له حطه في الزنقور وارقص مع رقصة الأسد والقطة. بلاد تمبريتشر. بريس الضرب تو امبريس كليك لوكس سبيس بار تو ريليس. دوس مسطرة عشان تسيبه. بيقول له انت لو دوست مسطرة هسيبه، لو دوست اف هاكله، ولو كلته هاخد نقاط كتير في الخبرة اللي انا اقدر اقوي بيها قدراتي، لكن هيبقى فيه عواقب. الكيبورد بتاعتي بتعلق. انا ترد عليا قلة ادب يا قليل الادب. بس كده ريح.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fart me. Fuck you.
شكرا.
Kill you.
انت ما متش لسه؟
Kill you.
لسه ما متش. قتلته. احسن خيانة اطعمته في ظهره. يقول له انت وحش يا عم. انا مصاص دماء. احنا ما بنهزرش. واديت له في ظهره، من ظهره كده اديت له بقى بالخيانة. انا تعمل معايا الحركات القرع دي؟ هي في المستشفى، هي دي مستشفى؟ وده انا هعذب بقى المرضى واقتل المرضى، انا هبقى شرير جدا، هبقى في منتهى الشر، انا هبقى في منتهى الشر. ينفع اقتل دول؟ مينفعش للاسف. زكاولية، انت ممرضة؟ انت فاكرنا بقى دكتورة؟ حاضر. انا بتقول ما عنديش وقت اقعد اجري وراك زي ونلعب مع بعض الغميضة.
This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
الليلة دي كانت غريبة قوي عليا.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
أقدر أعمل لك إيه دلوقتي؟
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor.
تقول له إحنا عملنا لك أوفيس كويس، عملنا لك مكتب كويس تروح تقعد فيه. شكرا يا حاج. أنت كريم صح؟ أنا دورسي كريم. أهلا بك في المستشفى يا دكتورة. مكتبك جاهز. ينفع أكلك يا دكتورة؟
I would like to ask a few questions first.
ينفع أكلك على حسب دمك يعني.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
الدكتور
I gave him a
الواد
sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
الراجل كان مصدوم.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
يقول لها الراجل اللي مشغلنا ده نظامه ايه بالظبط؟ قالت له المفروض انت استقبلت الشغل منه، المفروض انت تبقى أدرى. يقول له هو يعرفني أكتر مني يعني، أنا مش عارف عنه حاجة.
You'll get to know him soon enough and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
انت باردة قوي.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
شمال السلم آخر حاجة.
What kind of...
Well, you accepted...
Thank you, Nurse Craig.
شكرا على لا شيء، عشان انتي لا شيء. ينفع أكلك يا حاج؟
Good evening, sir.
ازيك يا حاج؟
So it is true. The famous
انت بقى الدكتور المشهور. ماشي. أخبار حلوة أوي تجيلنا في المصايب اللي احنا فيها، احنا نعرفك. يقول له قابلتك قبل كده في جامعة نيويورك.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember.
ازيك يا تابتيز؟
I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future.
Look at you now,
eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
شوف نفسك مظبط الدنيا. ايه يا عم؟ كده انت عايش في لندن؟
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
متأكد انت كنت شغال في مكان هايل.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either.
I can't
have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people then.
Nurse Flanagan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
بيقول له دي لو كانت راجل كنت أحبها. ايه كيو ده المجر؟ 1 و2 مش فاهم انا. 1 طيب.
Any opinion about the
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running.
Yes, the burden of command.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good
سوانزي
administrator.
كويس
I just
بس
wish he
ايه
would
هو
get out of
مش
his office
مش
now.
عايزينه يخرج من مكتبه شوية.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself,
اللي محتاج
Doctor?
أي مساعدة في الدكتوراه.
Come on, don't be ridiculous,
ما
dear
تبقاش
colleague.
سخيف. بلاد كواليتي 1500 بس. ماشي.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself?
Come on.
خلاص. مفيش أي بيرسونال كويتشن أقدر أسأله.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
شكرا يا دكتور يا أبو دقدير. احنا عايزين طيب يا نطلع المكتب بتاعنا يا ننام في ايه. ازيك يا حاج.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
أنا الدكتور الجديد.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed.
أنا سمعت
I'm
عنك.
Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this
أنا
shithole
بتاع
of a
الإسعاف.
hospital.
أنا اللي
That's
بسوق
quite a
الإسعاف.
blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I
يقول أنا
like to
مش
speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Part of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm
ما
not
تحكمش
sure I
على مش هحكم عليك.
understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye.
مش
I learned to
دكاترة
shoot
بس
during the
احنا
war.
برضو معالجين
I've
يعني.
carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun,
يقول له
remember,
عايز
I may have something for you.
بيقول له لو عايز أي مسدس حلو أنا معايا مسدس حلو أوي. وريني كده قدرة 1000 بس. مش مستاهل يا ابني إن أنا أشرب دمك. الناس شارب أصلا 1 على 200 يعني سبحان الله.
I'd like to see your goods.
وريني
Wise
كده.
choice, Dr. Reed. A
السلاح
reliable
اللي
gun
معاك.
is what everybody needs these days.
يقول له لازم كل واحد يبقى معاه السلاح. ايه ده انا اشتري منه بقى سلاح وكده. 200 وشوية دامج. السلاح بيدي 296 دامج. بيضرب 10 متر و15 0.15 على ما يحمل. هتبدل معاه يعني ولا هتدولي كده يعني؟ ايه هتدولي هدية ولا ايه؟ ولا شكلك بتدي هدايا؟ ماشي بعدين نجيلك.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
المكان ده جميل عشان اكمل ابحاثي فيه. يا سلام. انا لازم اكمل ابحاثي. ازيكوا دكاترة ولا عيانين؟ ازيك يا مدام؟
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
ازيك يا
I don't
دكتور؟
think we've been introduced yet.
انا لسه
My name is
متعرفتش عليك.
Pippa Hawkins.
انا
And I'm
بيبي
Dr. Jonathan
انا
Reed.
الدكتور جوناثان.
Dr. Swansea has
Well, it's a
الدكتور
euphemism that your
بيحبك
help
قوي.
will be appreciated, Doctor.
انت كمان مفيش اسئلة خاصة؟
How is the Pembroke staff
أخبار
coping
الناس
with the
إيه؟
epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially
السواق
concerning doctors.
السواق بتاع الإسعاف بيتضايق من الناس. هو متضايق
Why
ليه؟
is Milton grumpy?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation,
يقول
whether he
له
deserved it or not.
بتقول له الراجل ده مش مهتم بالنوعية حلوة ولا وحشة. هو وحش. انت برضه
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
ليه بيكره
I don't
الدكاترة؟
know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
تقول له ميلتون ده مش بتاع شيء. مبيحبش الكلام كتير. انت دكتور
How
انت
long
مرضى بقالك
have you
كتير؟
been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the
أنا
epidemic
بقالي
is
كتير.
winning.
مالكش
And
دعوة.
no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse
مش عاجبني
Hawkins.
اسلوبك يا ايتها
Pessimism
الناس.
can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
عرفي مقامك يا بنت. اعرفي مقامك. الله كله في داهية. مش يا بنت من هنا. انا عايزة تعمل نفسها احسن مني. اكلك دلوقتي انت لسه عايش يا حاج. اوه كان حتة تخف.
How do you feel?
What
do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory.
أنا في المصنع مكنتش نفسي. أنا كنت خايف أوي وكنت قلت حاجات وحشة.
You remained perfectly nice.
بيقولوا لا أنت كنت مؤدب
ومحترم. A little delirious perhaps, but who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, doctor.
سنين بعد اللي حصل له ده مش هيعمل زيك. شكرا حسستني بالأمان. لازم بقى نديله بيرسونال كويشنز على طول. أنت عامل إيه؟
How do you feel?
عامل إيه يا حبيبي؟
Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted.
كطبيعي أنا حاسس بتعب. أنا تعبان أوي.
William drank so much of my blood in his madness.
ويليام ده شرب كتير أوي من دمي. أنا حاسس إن في طيط من الدم.
You're in good hands here.
لا تقلقش انت في ايدي انا الدراكولا. انا هشرب دمك كله.
And I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
يعني هنقول لك دم وهنظبطك.
I believe all I need is rest.
انا معتقد ان انا كل اللي انا عايزه ان انا عايز اريح شويه بعد كده هرجع للناس. What do you do for a living؟ اكيد يعني
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
هو أسيس. Are you a priest?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the doctor many months ago.
طيب يا دكتورة.
How did you end up in William
انت عرفت ازاي ويليام بيشوب
I
ده؟
had received alarming news about his recent behavior.
انا عرفت اخلاقه فكنت عايز اروح اكلمه. رحت البيت ومرضيش يسيبني.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here, this Miss Hawcroft.
Miss Hawcroft يبقى هنشوف Miss Hawcroft دي هنظبطها زي ويليام بيشوب.
Do you know Tom Watts?
عارف توم
The
واتس؟
bartender from the Turtle. I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom, yes, of course.
Tom ده حبيبي.
Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
What is the general situation in the
ايه
East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union.
والدنيا صعبة. مش عارف ايه
Wet
صعب.
boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
وهم زعلانين من الوضع صعب. مين ايه ده؟ فقدوا القائد
Who
بتاعهم.
leads the gang now?
مين اللي
Since
بيقود
Clay
الأصحاب؟
Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her
يقولوا مراته هي
minion,
اللي
Bill Digby.
هي اللي بتدير الشو، هي اللي بتساعد
Has the
العصابة.
gang been threatening you?
العصابة كانت بتهددك.
I've had this nickname for so long.
أنا كان عندي
The
الاسم ده
sad
كتير
saint of the
يعني.
East End.
No
No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
يقولوا أنا كنت في حالي ومحدش بيأذيني خالص مهما كان يعني.
How did you end up?
I had received.
You dared to enter this awful place alone.
يقولوا أنت دخلت أنت إما
You're a
بطل يا إما
hero,
عبيط.
Mr. Hampton, or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his
أنا
friends.
بحاول أساعد صاحبي يا دكتورة. يعني نروح بقى خلاص خلصنا.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
مع السلامة.
We'll talk again later.
بشوفك يا تعبان على روحك.
I cannot enter.
ازاي ما اعرفش اخش؟ ده انا الدكتورة يعني اخش اي مكان انا عايزه. مش عايز اكلمكم دلوقتي يا عيانين. هات الورق ده، بحب اسرق الورق انا. مفيش ورق هنا تاني اهو. اوه دكتور تاني اهو. لازم برضو نعرف الناس اللي في المستشفى ونظبط حالنا كده. كده ده خروج. جودة الدم بتاعتك. دكاترة كتير أوي مش فاضي أنا بصراحة.
Good evening, Doctor.
ازيك دكتور؟
I believe we're going to be working.
هنشتغل مع بعضين. ازيك يا دكتورة؟
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
ازيك؟
Thank you.
شكرا يا حبيبي.
And you are? I am Thoreau Strickland, Doctor.
أنا زعبون الأول ستروكلك.
I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr.
أنا فرحان بشغلك. اديله بيرسونال كويشنز. مفيش. طيب قول لي عنك.
Please could you tell me something? I'm a great admirer of your work.
أنا بحب
concerning
شغلك
blood
أوي.
transfusion, Doctor.
هو ده اللي عندك؟
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect. I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful. As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail. You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic. What made you choose to be a doctor? It's always a pleasure to share scientific and this epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only. What can you tell me about? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea, but with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
انت متفائل قوي.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science. Questions remain about our capacity to resolve this situation. Last summer during. Goodbye, Doctor. As for me.
ناقص كده الدكتور اللي قاعد ده. مش فاهم. خلينا نطلع ريح بقى وكفايه كده النهارده يعني. لسه عايش الراجل المنحرف اللي بيحب الممرضة. احنا قلنا ايه؟ انا الدور التاني. خلينا نريح في اوضتي بقى واقفل اللعبة عشان ايه؟ ايه ده؟ لا مش اوضتي. دكتورة سوسة.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
بعد بقى لما اصحى اشوف الدنيا دي كلها. خلاص كده كفايه كده النهارده. نبقى نشوف الحوار ده بعدين يعني. احنا زودناها النهارده كمان مش بس شفناها. مبعرفش ارمي البتاع ده ومتضايق من هذا الموضوع. عايز 2000 نقطة وده اللي بيهيلني. مش عارف ازود تاني. طيب الالتيميت يلوز كنترول وتخلي الوحش يتحكم فيك ويطير قدام الناس اللي حواليك كلهم ويضربهم. تعمل شادو مش عارف ايه. تعمل عاجبني الحوار بتاع الوحش اللي بيتحكم فيك ده ب1000. عاجبني الحوار ده بس مش مفتوح لسه مفتحليش. مش عارف اقوي ايه. طيب مش عارف اقوي ايه تاني. ممكن اقوي ده، محتاج 2000. طب الرمح انا عايز اتعلم اصلا ازاي اعمل البتاعة دي. انا مش عارف احط حاجة هنا. انا مش عارف اعمل حاجة خالص. لازم افتح حاجة جديدة يعني. عايزين نفتح حاجة جديدة. وانا المفروض افتحهم كلهم ولا ايه؟ بعدين نام. مش هتنام؟ طيب خلاص هبقى اشوف بقى الموضوع ده بعدين. يلا سلام.